Good evening, everyone. I'm Vince Palmieri, President and founder of Asian Pacific Community Awareness, and we're here this evening to talk with Lydia Dominguez, who's running for Clark County School District, District B, like in boy. Good evening, Lydia.
Good evening, Vincent. Thank you so much for having me and your listeners.
You're welcome. Would you just introduce yourself briefly to our viewers?
Absolutely. I'm a proud mom of 2 boys in Clark County School District. I'm an Air Force veteran. I served for 10 years, and I'm an author. And I'm so happy to be running for school board and excited to be here.
I know you were in the Air Force, and how can you relate your Air Force experience to sitting on the school board?
Yeah, absolutely.
I know sometimes what goes on the school board is like being in combat.
It is. So in the Air Force or in the military, as you know, you get a big melting pot of different personalities and people. And so you learn a lot of skills as far as managing and organizing large groups of people, small teams, large teams, and you manage their personalities in order to get the mission complete. And that's one of the things that I want to bring to the board is just being strategic and being able to work with all sorts of different personalities to get things done.
We know that there are so many issues going on in our school system. Which is the most important to you, and what would you do to correct that problem?
Yeah, one of the biggest things I'm advocating for is parental rights. I want to make sure that parents have a voice in our community, and that parents can go to the schools and see what's going on, and have everything known to them that they need to know about their child's education. They need to have full view of what's going on with their kids' education.
Yeah, it's a bit ridiculous that they can make decisions for the kids and their parents aren't even aware of what's going on. So what other issues are important to you besides that one?
Yeah, so one of the other issues as a veteran, as a military member, is safety. I want to make sure CCSD Police has every single resource they need to make sure that our schools are safe from bullying, are safe from violence, and are safe from bringing on deadly weapons. And so I want to make sure that they have every resource available to them to ensure that they create a bond with the community and create a bond with the students in those schools, so that way they know what is normal and what is not normal on campus. And I want them to feel safe when they have their kids come to school.
What is one of the resources?
Yeah, so one of the resources that I want to make sure that all the schools have is an emergency button, as far as in the administrative office to lock doors, an emergency button to lock the front office, an emergency button to call for emergency services, and again, also cameras. Our camera systems need to be updated, and I'm not talking about just inside the classroom. I'm talking about our camera system outside the classroom, in the hallways, outside the buildings. These systems need to be updated, and so we need to provide our schools with that support.
Sure. Would you have this emergency button also in the classrooms?
You know what? It depends the resources. I would definitely want to talk to CCSD Police if that's needed, but I definitely would want to make sure that each teacher had the ability, if they wanted to ask for a button, they could ask for one.
I think one of the problems that I see is that I don't think the schools are well patrolled. And I know that they started a program maybe a year or 2 ago called Dads
in Schools. Yep.
Dads in School. I honestly don't think that works, because I might be prejudiced because I'm a veteran. I think veterans, retired police, people who have a background in the military and the police are better suited for walking the schools, and because I think they have a knack to see trouble before it happens.
Yeah, and I think that's why it's so important to make sure when we do have CCSD officers on campus, I want to make sure that they stay with that campus, that they create bonds with those children, and they get to know that campus, so they know when something is out of the ordinary. I think creating those bonds in the relationship with the students really creates a good atmosphere for students to trust that officer, and for the entire campus to trust that officer will always be there for them.
What about after-school programs where the kids can mingle and play and learn sports and stuff with the police department. I know I did that when I was growing up.
Yeah, I would love to support anything that that would make those bonds even stronger, whether it be through seminars or letting even Metro come in and show off their fun toys that they have. But I would love for the students to get a view of not being so afraid of police officers and knowing that they're out there to be safe and that they're out there to look out for their safety.
One of the things I know that people in the Asian community are not aware of, and I mentioned this last year to a woman I was teaching citizenship class. I said to her, what would you do if your daughter came home after school and said, Mom, there were 5 boys in the girls' room, and I told the teacher and the teacher did nothing? What would your reaction be as a mom, first of all?
Yeah, I would be like, get those boys out of the girls' restroom. I have 2 boys of my own, and they know, and I would imagine they would be petrified if a girl came into their restroom. I think that the genders should be keeping their separate spaces, and I definitely believe in women's sports. I think we should be protecting girls' sports and girls' spaces. And as a girl, I would be horrified to see someone come into my space. And as a mom of 2 boys, I would be horrified if it happened to them too. So I'd like to make sure that I keep parents involved and I stand up for those parents that don't like what's going on.
This question I'm going to ask, I don't know, being on the school board, what power you would have to control this, but we have a problem with illegal immigration, and we know that there are illegals here in our state and our city, and they attend school. What can we do, and what is the effect really that they have on the school system, and is there anything as a member of the school board that you can do to stop this?
Yeah, so that's a multiple part question. So I have no part in who comes to the school as far as what students do get enrolled. However, as an immigrant myself, I'm horrified of what's going on at the border, and as a Latina, I cannot believe we are allowing this many people to come through unvetted, and it's a very dangerous situation. And so with that said, I do support school choice. However, with the border open, these seats will continue to be filled. And so until the border is closed, these seats will be filled. And so we still need to do something about public education, and we still need to be involved in our public schools, whether or not we have kids, whether or not the kids are grown up. We still need a community involvement to make sure that 299,000 students are productive citizens and that actually go out into the workforce critically thinking and analyzing the world around them.
Tonight, I think we heard at this panel somebody say that they would favor a class maybe in the 8th or 9th grade where kids learn how to balance a checkbook, learn something about finance. Is that something you would support?
Absolutely. I think it's so important to learn how to file your taxes and learn how to balance a checkbook and learn how to budget. It should be mandatory, to be honest, here, and to know how to balance your books and know what it means to have credit card debt, what it means to have student debt, and medical debt. It breaks up marriages, it breaks up families, it destroys people when they have so much debt. Finances are such a heavy topic, and our students should be well prepared to handle those finances.
My last question for you is, what school programs would you like to institute, either during school time or after school?
Yeah, so one of the things that I'm interested in doing is that all of our old equipment that we're not utilizing, I'd like to make sure that goes out to the rural families and the rural STEM programs. I want to make sure that we take care of those families too. One of the other things that I'd love to support is every single avenue of sports, of art and music, and I want to make sure these kids stay involved, because if they stay busy and they stay active, I believe that they will continue to be having a good academic performance and continue to be involved and grow up to be great productive citizens.
I thank you very much for your time. I think you're right on the money, and I can tell you and our viewers, being part of Clark County School District is a nonpartisan position. But we need people who have some conservative values and morals to keep our kids safe and make sure that they have a good education, because our children are the foundation of the future.
Yes, absolutely.
Give our viewers a message before we go.
Yes, so I am a proud conservative, and I can't do any of this without your help. I truly do need some volunteers, and I love going out and reaching out to the community. And so please feel free to reach out to me. And I would definitely could use your help in volunteering or donating, or even just having a meetup and just meeting your friends and family, because we need to take back these schools and we need to care about our students. You can see me on Dominguez, Dominguez 4 FOR trustee TRUSTEE.com. Thank you so much, Vincent, for having me.
Thank you very much, and I wish you a lot of luck and have a pleasant evening.
Thank you so much. Have a good night.